I was like, yeah, you take all the time you need because, I'm not going there.
Tactics
Oh,
in.
it didn't work.
AC's in.
Yep. There was a mention.
Why? What's up? It's not
Stage
working?
announcement. Let me see. Page live announcements.
I'm of love to you.
It's always 15 UTC for stage.
We'll just give a special shout out to Hoff while she's here in the audience for organizing and building my relationship status.
Playing this game has definitely made me more aware of the world is a much bigger place than my backyard.
Oh my God, yeah, absolutely. I have friends on every continent that people live on now.
Yeah, really. Oh, I see that. All right, I don't know if Fox is coming back.
He'll be back. He's probably just got to get a mic change situation.
Okay, well, we'll give it a little. We'll give it, if everyone can just be a little patient, because Fox is our intro guy today. So we'll give him a little extra.
Can play some elevator. Do 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 do.
No, not that.
Do do do.
Anything but that.
The terrible stage music. That's funny. Hope you all had a good Halloween. I know it's not celebrated everywhere, but I think in our area was.
Oh my gosh, I have to post this picture of my friend in his costume.
I made an excuse to wear my blanket hoodie because it is my favorite fall wardrobe item.
I should get one of those. That sounds comfy.
Oh my god, mine goes down to like my ankles, and because I'm cold all of the time, like all of the time, and it keeps me from freezing to death in my own house.
I gotta wear socks. I don't know why. My feet always get cold. Everything else is pretty warm, but my
That's a good costume.
yeah.
It's so creepy because the eyes didn't move. It was like a Michael Myers Shrek mask. Like it just.
That's funny.
Just always looking
Like,
to
how
the
do you
right.
even see out of that? Like,
He sees out of the mouth. There's a little
Oh my
hole
God.
in the mouth.
no, that's weird. Can you hear me now? Yes, we can hear you now.
No, did you say
Wait
something?
it. We should probably get started.
4 minutes? Yeah, I think we've given everyone enough time, haven't we, to get used to these daylight saving changes?
Yeah.
Right, well, welcome everybody that's here. We are obviously on a new time zone today because of all the daylight saving changes. So hopefully we're going to have more people jump in over the next few minutes when they start seeing the notification. So we've got a lot to go through today. We've got Jake, who's going to be hosting the show, who has more information about more new ants than I've ever seen. So this is going to be a lot. So thanks all for coming. And Jake, let us have what we need, my friend. Give it to us.
I'm ready. So obviously a very exciting week for everybody. 10 new ants in the game have been announced and all the skills are now available for us to see. So we're going to start off the stage by getting into some of those. I have a picture here of the first one on the list. Going to make a lot of Guardian players very happy with the Range Guardian. The Giant Jaw. Wow, does it look pretty cool as well? What do you guys think about that so far?
Looks pretty predatory and mean, like it's gonna do some serious damage.
It does with those. The Giant Jaw is not just a name for this ant. It is truly living up to the name with those huge fangs on the front. And here's this. Oh, go ahead.
That was the one they used for the promo for it all there, wasn't it? I mean, they're proud of that. They are literally proud. Just quickly, I forgot to say about coming up on stage, guys. None of us that are up here today are officially guard mains. So if you've got any guard mains in the audience, if you've got anything to say about it, things that you're looking forward to or things we want to know about, please chuck your hand up and just come and give us some feedback. Guards to me are just traumatizing, and I think Bugs Carrier, Jake, your carrier, we're not Guardian mains, so anyone that is a Guardian main or wants to talk about it a bit more, please chuck your hand up. Sorry, Jake, carry on.
Might be a good time
sorry,
to. Go ahead.
I misspoke there. Only 6 new ants. Sorry to get everybody too excited there. There's not 10 new ants, only 6.
We need more coffee.
Yeah, and we'll get into this second skill here, the Giant Jaw Bite skill, with the 65% chance to deal 210% plus Special Ant level 1 damage to 2 random squads, and mark them. And marking them when our squads deal damage to marked targets, they have a 40% chance to receive a healing ratio of 23%. So a pretty crazy backline ant. It's actually marking the other opponents and then heals your ants. Don't really see many ranged ants that are also going to heal.
I think the marking is the thing, isn't it? This is the thing that we're all kind of excited about now. The marking kind of featuring those skills. So
Yeah.
I like that.
It'll be very interesting to see how it actually performs. Pretty menacing sounding, so I'm kind of afraid to hit any guards in the near future.
I've been afraid for the last 6 months, but yeah, sure. Honestly.
It might be a good time to invite Trapezoidal up as well if he's got any input on this. So like it actually does, yeah. 65% chance to deal at level 10. So at level 1, it's 200%, 210% plus 50, so 260. But if you get it up to level 10, 65% chance to deal 350% damage to 2 random enemy squads and mark them for 2 rounds.
Is there any special skill on that as well? Or is it just that?
Well, it's just basically like, 65% chance is a pretty high chance. It's going to proc at least like twice, maybe 3 times in a battle at 350% damage. And it may have some synchronicity, let me see, with like the Blue Velvet. I don't know if that has anything to do with marked.
Well, it also... let me get this posted. I'm hitting enter, but it's just going down a line. It also has synchronicity with its other skill, which if the target, I'm going to skip over the first part of that skill, the damaging part, but it says if the target is marked, suppresses it, making it unable to move. So it's...
There you go, that's what I was thinking of.
Dodge as well for carriers. You're literally destroying us.
Yeah, so goodbye dodge, goodbye the SSA, maybe making it move back a space in the round. Some very interesting things that could happen with this marking from this Guardian.
Well, that kind of makes sense as to why they've gone with the carrier doing the 50-50 between the poison and the dodge then, doesn't it? So if you've got those ants which are coming in, marking, stopping us dodge, you still have reduced damage with the damage over time that they've now added as the other skills. So you're reducing carrier impact if it gets marked, but you're giving carrier almost what would be double damage then with the 2 different damage types, because you'll be extrapolating your other skills if you dodge, and you'll be doing the bleed effect and whatever else. So it's going to be a 50-50 or a 65-35 on whether or not carriers get marked or not, as to whether or not they win against guards now, in my kind of reading of that.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to see what the best counter against these very scary looking guards will be in the future. I think you are kind of right with where you're heading. Seems like the dodge will be inert.
Yeah, it'll be reduced, won't it? I think it's going to cancel out some of the dodge, but they've kind of accommodated that with adding in, I think we've got bleed, and we've got damage over time. Is it 150 or something? I can't remember off the top of my head, but the bleed was a reasonable amount. And then if you've got HVA spread in that as well, you're still getting a big benefit across the right lineup. But if it isn't the right lineup, and you're not able to use the poison if your dodge gets negated, then you're kind of wasting your troop. So I think it's a lot more thought that's got to go into your lineup with these new ones.
Yeah, and like, okay, so I'm doing the math and I checked it with, AI. 65% chance out of 8 rounds means it's going to proc 5 times, which is a lot. This giant draw. That is a lot of time. So you're very likely going to be marked.
Yeah, so your dodge has got to be a reduced focus if you're fighting against guard, and you've got to probably set your troop up to focus more poison if you're trying to hit guards.
Well, I think if you dodge before you get marked, you're okay. But once you're marked, then you cannot dodge the suppress from the 5th skill because you're already marked.
Yeah.
The way I read it.
Is Trap, are you kind of ready to make any comments with a hand up and give us a rundown on these?
Are you able to hear me? My microphone?
Yes, sorry.
Yeah.
And here you go.
Okay. I would suspect that if the carrier dodges the skill 5, it would not be suppressed, but it's always hard to tell because sometimes the effects of these skills are actually slightly independent from the damage. But I would guess that if a carrier does get marked and then skill 5 tries to hit it, if the carrier is able to dodge, it would probably not be suppressed. But if it fails to dodge, then it would be suppressed. would be my guess.
Right. Okay.
Awesome.
So
Makes sense.
because we can't prepare. I don't think on most of the lineups we've not got a pre-guaranteed dodge in anything, have we? We've not got anything that beats the who lands first. I don't think on any of the new ones.
Yeah, I think the highest dodge is Golden Chaser, which starts off at like what are 40 or 60%, depending on how many stars you have on it. And TAS is the only one that can get really high. Otherwise, and I guess with insects and things, you can maybe get kind of high dodges. But if it's a sort of a game of tag, right? So if you can hit the carrier without them dodging, you can establish the mark, and establish the suppress.
And then all we're left with as carriers is the bleed rather than anything else.
Yeah, and so I think that with the carrier dodge counter, or sorry, the carrier guardian counter, the damage over time is supposed to probably mitigate some of the silence and suppress other control features of the new guards. So even if you are getting silenced, even if you are getting suppressed, you already have maybe a bleed or something that's going. That's you have 1 or 2 stacks or however many stacks of bleed already that are kind of going. So you're dealing damage still, even if you're not able to activate skills.
Yeah. I mean, it's not a huge, heavy amount, is it? I'm sure the bleeds it's a lower number compared to what the kind of damage can be. But if I'm assuming the honeypot is going to count the bleed as one of the actual troops taking poison, and then so if we've got honeypot in there, once it recognises a bleed, then obviously we'll get that spread as well. So it feels like they've kind of done a lot of thinking about linking the current lava scorpion, the insects, with the kind of ants that we've already got available. So they actually pair up really nicely. Whereas sometimes, we get season ants that they just don't work together. The synergy's all gone to whatever, and we can't kind of get the best lineup without a pay to win. But this kind of feels a little bit different this time around.
Yeah, I think that finally, so the S4 started establishing the sort of new meta that will exist for at least the next maybe few seasons of the carrier and things like that. So S4 introduced a lot of that again after the season 3 carriers didn't have almost any debuffs. There was maybe the anti-healing debuff of CR or something, but otherwise it was silence and dodge.
Yeah, silence.
Other features, but we got the basics of the first part of the buff established in S4, and now we're getting kind of the rest of the ants.
They've built the whole team now across those, like the back end of the last and the start of this one. So we've actually got a really nice synergy lineup.
Yeah, like the rainbow or the golden chaser, the new melee carrier ant has a 40% chance to dodge on the first round, but the lava scorpion gives it another 10%. So basically, it's got a 50-50 chance to dodge, and then that increases 10% each round. So then round 2, it's got 60%. Round 3, 70%, and so on and so forth. So that
the golden chaser, actually its skill, it decreases, so it actually starts off with more dodge and then it goes down as it goes through.
Oh, you're right, I read that wrong. Thank you.
Yeah, so there's actually a little bit of I would almost call anti-synergy, or the antagonistic behavior between the new carriers and the shooters, because these shooters are more almost like 8-round shooters, almost more like back in the Laffy Sniffer kind of era, where they're...
You want it to last as long as possible.
Yeah, you want it to last as long as possible, and not only do you want it to last as long as possible, you're ramping up damage the whole time. Whereas carriers, it seems like maybe they're starting out, at least with the dodge and the new melee, you're actually a little bit more invulnerable in the beginning of the fight, but then you become weaker kind of as time goes on, while the shooters are getting stronger. And so I think this is part of the sort of counter effect, the balance that they have right now.
Makes sense. Since you guys were talking about him a little bit, I posted the pictures from the Golden Chaser. What a beautiful looking ant. I really hope I hash this. some pretty awesome looking skills, as you guys were talking about a little bit there.
I really want it. I really, really do. But, you know, talking about what we've just said about lineups and so on, don't know whether or not the TA is still going to be a better option, and then running the new season support ant with Honeypot on the back. Because I'm sure that's more than 40% dodge straight away, right? The TA trap?
The TA actually, it ramps its dodge up the more times it doesn't dodge.
Yeah.
So every time it takes a hit, its dodge goes up. So basically, its dodge like ramps up until it guarantees the proc, and then it resets its dodge and deals some damage in the process, and then it ramps its dodge up again to make sure it guarantees a dodge, and then kind of resets.
So that feels like it's going to be maybe a better way of lasting against the shooters that are kind of now getting built to last.
It's possible.
Because you're hopefully negating their damage build up across the later rounds.
Yeah, it's possible, and yeah, we'll have to see. I suspect because the pattern of paid and rare season ants, they kind of go in a way that they kind of end up replacing each other over time. Golden Chaser is effectively the TA replacement. I don't know that it will be stronger than TA at 0 stars, but presumably by the time Golden Chaser is 7 stars, it will be stronger than a 7-star Awakened TA, presumably. Perhaps even an 8-star TA, something like this. For free-to-play players, there's probably a good chance. Rainbow Wings is not particularly strong. It was an improvement based on the fact that it was newer and everything, but Golden Chaser will probably be, I would guess it would be stronger than Rainbow Wings at 0 stars for free-to-play players, but this is just my suspicion.
Well, plus this new ant is going to have that ascent feature, which might cause normal attack damage to jump up a lot, or the number of ants that you can have in your line. I'm not sure where they're going to go with it.
We had that confirmed yet, Bug, on what the actual uplift is? No.
I don't even know if we're going to see until someone unlocks it. I don't know if it's like one of these things, like the insect ascents and things that you don't actually get a preview of until someone gets there and unlocks this feature. But yeah, we might have to wait for someone to 8-star and then ascend these ants to see what these give. But it sounds like there's supposed to be some sort of global boost for the whole troop, not just its own squad. So
yeah, that's what we were saying last week. Yeah. It feels like, are they going to increase the numbers available on that first right the way through, or I don't know, because that would be the natural way of increasing that true damage, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so, we'll see what happens, stats and maybe extra effects, and I'm sort of assuming that they're also going to sort of make these ascent things kind of like a bucket where you can just kind of keep dumping dupes and exotics into. Maybe not, but this is my assumption, and for pay to win obviously gives them an edge and a reason to keep spending on copies, but it's also technically good for free to play too, because if the the Azure Crazy or the Rainbow Scarlet, they're probably the Wise Berserker and the Golden Crystal replacements. You hold on to them a long time, you get them 8-star, you keep getting dupes, maybe you don't get any of the rare ranged ones after that. Well, you can keep improving your main damage dealer by feeding copies into it to keep it relevant. It's similar to how the Awakening can keep things relevant. So
patience is everything. Just ask Nim. Just ask Nim. Patience is everything. If you wait long enough for SSA dupes, they do come. They do come.
Yes, but now I'm looking at it, do I need them? Like, will they really be that significant very long? But then it's okay, because, like, really, everything can be useful eventually. They will also make very nice shells someday when I no longer need them.
Or a pangolin ant.
Yeah, or March 4 in the mines.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. You can go trolling in the purple one then with your March 3.
I don't. So far, they're all in the golden mine.
Oh, you're such a whale. Right.
And here is the next ant on the the list, another Guardian. I'm just going in order that I have the pictures. So shooters, please don't be offended. We will get to you later. You're gonna have to wait. This is the Blue Velvet, a very nice looking ant, support. So typically middle line Guardian. We have some silence on the 5th skill, and on the 2nd skill has a 70% chance to heal all the squads by 85% and increase their skill release chance and control probability by 0.4% in the next round. So those are a lot of big words. I don't even know what control probability means, but I can guess that it's going to help that other range Guardian that has some effects that seem like they're controlling. I'm not 100% sure if you'd consider them a control effect. But suppress.
Well, what would we be using on the back line with that lineup? What's the elephant? Anyone got any stats on that? Because I don't really use guards.
Well, I'd assume just the new S5 Guardian has a control with that, I forget what it's called now, the
Control resistance?
the marking. I don't know if a marked target is under control, but then it also has a suppression to the targets that are marked. So I'm assuming the suppression is definitely a control effect, but maybe even the marking would be a control effect. I don't know.
Yeah, it's hard to say whether this is like an additional chance to trigger a control effect, or perhaps it's maybe something that reduces control resistance, which is maybe that's what it is. It's like they have 20 control resistance, and you have 4% of improves control, and they actually end up with 16% control resistance. And so it might be something like that, where it
saves you from receiving it a bit better.
Yeah, maybe it's like a counter to the control resistance.
Very cool. I like that if I was a guard, but I am not a guard, so I really don't like the sounds of that. If they're against me, if they're my enemies. For all the guards on our team, they'll be laughing.
Honestly, it's getting, the guards have recently become, you think over the last 6 months since Bison and whatever else, guards have now become kind of the one that people are thinking about switching to. That's unheard of. Since the days of early game when we were all sat there going, okay, well, I'm going to go guards and I'm going to suck at all of my PvE scores, but I'll get there in the end. Now, I'm hearing people saying that they are switching. They are now thinking about switching over to guard as a main. And I've not heard that since, a long while back. A long, long while back. Pretty new.
All I think about is how nice it is to sit behind guards and towers.
Yeah, the guards.
What is Trap,
go
Pro?
Hmm?
Trap, what are you, Pro? What's your main?
I'm a carrier main.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool. You can stay. That's fine. Just wanted.
Yeah.
So we
He's one of the good guys.
Hard names, do we, up here today?
No, they're hard to find, I guess, the guard mains.
More and more common that people are switching. It's true.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, it's crazy. And I've not heard that for, a long time, because it's always been a negative, isn't it? Starting with guards was always like a big no-no. But now, more and more, guard, all the way. So,
Switch gears a little bit and talk about one of these I only say not too great because I really don't like shooters even more than I don't like guards, but I'm sure it will be lovely for any shooter mains. It is a frontline melee ant. The Indigo Velvet will hopefully be on par with the Black Velvet frontline ant, and has some pretty crazy skills with that, and it looks really cool too.
it should be the Black Velvet replacement, and you can see how maybe some of the synergies are going to work with like Sly Hunter, because its ability to share its buffs. If you get it to 8 stars, it's effectively doubling the buffs that Sly Hunter is giving to the back lane.
Wow.
Because it's sharing them again. Basically, the back lane gets them, and then Indigo Velvet shares them again to the back lane, and so you're kind of getting a double buff out of this. So I have a feeling it's going to be fairly strong, pushing a lot of strength at the back over Rainbow Chaser. Having control resistance and all these things, it's going to get quite strong. Azure Crazy likewise.
How did they make all the most deadly ants so pretty and beautiful?
Really, you have to ask that question?
Irony. Maybe, I don't know.
Because Nim writes the devs a letter once a week for pretty
I don't. Give me pretty ones. I like the shiny things, please. I have that. I do not have that power. There'd be more shiny things. Yeah, that's the trick with this, because I'm a shooter main, and I'm always, like, I love getting new ants, and I want them, but then I dread getting new ants, and because it's like, there's so many variables of how it will affect the troop lineup you're currently running, and whether or not it's effective until you get more dupes of it. And then it's like, they'll bring out a new insect, you're like, well, how does that? So, like, all of those little variables impacts how you're going to shift and change. So I run 2 shooter lineups because being a shooter main, I kind of try to do the meta and paid ants, but I try to avoid paid ants. So yeah, this is interesting for me. I do currently have a Black Velvet on tap, but I don't know if I would run it in my pro. Like, that's where I'll be sitting. It's like, do I shift it into if and when I hatch it, and where I'll know I'm going to hatch it first thing, it's going to be my first ant.
obviously.
I'm just putting that out there in the universe because I'm not waiting until the new season comes out to hatch it. But yeah, so it's like, do I run it in my place of my Black Velvet in my pro, which is Black Velvet, Emerald Jewel, and Rainbow Chaser, or do I run it in my secondary march, which is the Red Velvet, Sly Hunter, and now SSA, because I finally hatched one. So it's like this, you'll have to mix and play with it, depending.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm curious with the Indigo Velvet how it will compare to Red Velvet. I'm assuming it's going to be better, of course, but Red Velvet has that ability that after it does a normal attack, it can follow up with a skill attack to the front line, so it really kind of helps to vaporize the front line very quickly. Indigo Velvet, on the other hand, its chase effect, its chase damage, is a random squad, so it can hit anyone. So it's not focusing the front line down, but it seems like very possible that it will get a lot of procs. And so then that might be why it is random rather than the front line focused, because it might have evaporated people too quickly had it been like Red Velvet.
Getting that front off straight away.
Yeah, so now it might just spread the damage out between all 3 squads.
Just
That's
so
going to make shooter versus shooter insane. Like, if you've got those lineups now on shooter versus shooter, and it is random damage to like a random squad, that's going to make shooter fights pretty awesome to see. To be fair, I think they're going to get.
Well, yeah, there's a bit of like a little bit of randomness because Azure Crazy also like has the ability to like ramp up like crazy.
That's the one that gets hit and reduced on a random attack, then obviously the stuff that it extrapolates is then reduced as well. So it's like, it's going to be awesome looking at these battle reports.
Yeah, it's going to be kind of crazy.
I completely agree. Since you guys mentioned him, one that a lot of shooters are all going to be waiting for, the Azure Crazy, very, very cool looking ant. And very scary skills. 60% chance to deal 490% damage, plus special ant level 1. High damage to a random enemy squad. Like, you know, whenever they say high damage, it's really high damage. And it has a 20% chance to pierce as well, which is just adding flame or fuel to the fire. Sorry. Doesn't really even need that piercing effect to be scary, but now it's extra scary.
praying for a dodge effect.
Yeah. If you you'd want to dodge anytime it's against that second skill on the Azure Crazy. Please dodge that.
Well, yeah, that's the one that excites me. I mean, I'm not shooters, but I mean, I was just talking about grabbing Deadleaf just to start kind of building them a little. But that Azure to me is beautiful. That is one of the nicest looking lineups as far as skills and go I've seen in a long while. Definitely excited for that one.
You and every other shooter, I'm sure, are jumping at the bit to hatch one. Who's gonna hatch one first, though?
Me.
Probably gonna be.
Hey, if you don't manifest it, it'll never happen.
You need to knock on wood right now.
I'll get one as a carrier main. Bug will get one as a carrier main. Trap will get one as a carrier main. The only one that won't get one is Nim.
100%, but we're gonna try and stay optimistic.
I'm sorry. It will not be your new SSA.
Let's hope.
So, like lineups, Trap, obviously you've been having a look at these skills for the last few days. I know Bug, you've probably been doing the same as well, lining up with bits and pieces. I think the shooter side of things, are we saying that both of those are going to automatically come in and replace kind of whatever's out there as pay to win, looking at what you're seeing skill comparison wise?
I think it's going to depend on the lineups. So Indigo Velvet, I think is going to want Sly Hunter, probably. I think it can work for other shooter lineups also, but that ability to share the buffs that the front line receives, I think will be a kind of a big deal for having the right supports to pair with it. The devs have been, certainly with the shooters, the devs have been doing a pretty good job though, tailoring especially a lot of the paid or rare ads, tailoring them in a way that they mesh with a variety of different formations. Black Velvet you could use with Weaver, Vice Berserker if you wanted. It goes really well with Emerald Jewel and SSA, or Emerald Jewel and Rainbow Chaser. So I feel like the devs have been doing kind of a good job, especially with shooters, is making them so they're kind of a little bit more plug and play than they used to be.
Yeah, I think and it's working for both as well. I think, we all saw everyone swap Dolly out of that lineup pretty much straight away, and Red Velvet going into the Weaver and WB, and it working really well still, it not kind of really being too detrimental, whereas historically that meta, we would have said, don't touch it, just leave it as it is, don't.
Yeah, exactly.
But the way that they've done them, like you say, they are accommodating some of the old skill synergies whilst adding new ones. So they're not doing just bang-in replacement. It is that was a great sentence, like plug and play. You can actually mesh and mix now and still get the benefit. So it's really, really much more considered recently compared to former times. And I love that. I think it's great.
Yeah. Azure Crazy, I'm not sure it's going to be a very strong counter against carriers because it has the ability to cleanse itself after dealing a certain number of damage instances. And then
also remove suppressions and stuff as well?
It won't remove control. It'll just be against carriers. So debuffs, so it'll remove poison, poison exhaust, bleed, erosion, all these types of things.
Oh, damn.
So, but yeah, it isn't able to remove silence, suppress, disarm, and confuse. But it can remove the carrier.
But it takes away its damage over time, which we're kind of counting on.
Yeah, so the devs have been, I'm not super on board with this exactly, but the devs have been really leaning into the rock, paper, scissors, circular, who counters who. And so, you give carriers a lot of damage over time and all these things, but then you give shooters the ability to just wipe that away. That was bad back in just with Weaver and Golden Crystal back in the day. But it's just continuing. Sly Hunter.
That is great.
Oh.
We're back to playground, aren't we? We are that rock paper scissors, or who's made their conquer the hardest. Do you know what I mean? Like, it is literally now a complete not luck, because obviously your intelligence in your lineup and the way that you set things up and your stats and everything else are going to have big impacts. But it feels like shooters have always had to try and focus making their front line last, so they've actually got some damage left over in the rounds, right? But it feels like now that they're making it almost like a full battle. Like they're doing everything that they can to give everyone a chance, if they've set it up correctly, to last the time, to actually give everything that they put in their lineup. And I don't like that either. I don't like the cleanse, because I think that's essentially negating a skill that is it's necessary for carriers if we've been, controlled and can't move and can't dodge. But it does feel like every single troop now is actually being geared to last the full 8 rounds. That's kind of the basis that it looks like it's going.
Yeah, something like that.
Which is good. Don't get me wrong, it is good. But also, rock, paper, scissors. It is a little bit, whoever gets their, activations better, quicker, is going to be the winner. So, a little bit more random.
That makes it always fun for sure. And like Captain Boogs was saying here, I think you are not going to see many of these S5, especially the ranged ants, hatched, but you probably will see a lot of SSAs hatched now. And for some people, potentially it might be moved all the way back to the 3rd line if you have the Rainbow Chaser, then your old SSA might not be in your 2nd line, it might be in the 3rd line now. So gonna make the mines very scary to be in as well. All very fun. And without any further ado, definitely everybody's favorite ant here. Oh, sorry, I've copied the pictures from the wrong ant. What a rookie mistake. But I'm trying to get the pictures for that last carrier ant, the ranged one. A very cool looking ant.
On my bedroom wall, so do you want me to just take a photo of that?
Yeah, I only print out my good battle reports and I hang those in my bedroom wall. I almost got them all. Just one more skill. Just bear with me for one more sec.
I got you, bro.
Here we are. Oh, let's see who wins. Oh, Buggy beat me.
Oh, whoops.
All good. It is a pretty ant, though.
Yeah, it looks super cool. And the skills are even cooler if you do manage to hatch one. 80% damage to deal 300%. Huge percent. Special ant level 1. Damage to one random squad and inflict bleeding, which takes 120% damage each round from the target with lower power, receives higher damage. So that sentence isn't 100% clear to me. It's a little bit of words that don't make sense together, maybe.
You can look on Para, because Paracarnes does bleed also. It's basically the more health that it's missing, the more damage the bleed does to it. So, yeah.
And it targets the one with the lower power. Oh, target with the lower power receives higher damage. Okay, yeah, that makes sense when I reread it there. It was just my problem with my reading comprehension, I think. And that's for 2 rounds, and if the target's power is above 50%, it applies an additional stack of bleeding, so you get double bleed from this.
Which is then double opportunity for anything else. So, so I love this. This is very, very exciting.
Yes, it is. So that skill inflicts bleeding, and the 5th skill has an 80% chance to deal 300% damage, plus special ant level 1, to one random enemy squad as well, and inflict bleeding. Oh, this is the same one I just read. Is it? Yes, it is the same one. I need to get another picture of that 5th skill here, because I think the 2 pictures are the same.
Let's see. I'll just jump to the 5th skill and read it in the game. So, prepares for 1 round, has 80% chance to deal 200% damage plus 50, so 250% damage to all enemies. And then the damage is increased by an additional 30% for each enemy squad under a negative status. So potentially 280% if it's poisoned, otherwise 250% if it's not poisoned by HPA or Golden Chaser. So I'm feeling like my new synergy is going to be these 2 new ants with Honeypot.
Yeah.
Especially with the ability to ascend and then kind of compound some effect on the entire troop. So if you have like 2 ants that are going to be buffing all ants, you're going to have like double buff from the ascension. So I'm kind of excited for that.
And so the negative status in that 5th skill could be from that Rainbow Scarlet itself. Like it could be from the first, or the 2nd skill rather, the 1st skill that does damage, from the bleed that it inflicts on the enemies from there.
Oh, good point.
It's very
yeah.
cool that it.
And also, Golden Chaser. It's when it successfully dodges, it is able to inflict either poison or bleed onto one of the random enemy squads. So your front line can do debuffs. Rainbow Scarlet can do debuffs. You're using Mimic Crawler, a bunch of different debuffs. Using TB as a helper, main insect. You're getting erosion and blindness. So, yeah, a lot of choices for and debuffs too.
I have to agree with what Trap and Captain Boggs were saying here. That these new ants with the Mimic in the middle could be a very productive lineup. Lots of debuffs, lots of negative statuses being thrown on your enemies all at once, potentially, if all your skills are lining up. And then crazy damage the next round from this Rainbow Scarlet if they're all debuffed already. I like how that will work. And I know like some people like Giga Fox and Evil Ninja, looks like some people don't have this very nice Mimic Crawler.
I mean, I just read that lineup and I was like, yeah, damn, you're right. That would be amazing. So if we chuck Mimic into the middle of that lineup, that sounds like a pretty boss lineup. And then my little heart sunk because I still haven't hatched a single Mimic Crawler the entire time I've been playing. Jake, go away.
Hey, there's always next year.
Honestly, I'm putting it in my pro just out of spite. I don't care what else I put it with. I'm putting it in my pro, no stars, just out of spite because I've waited so long. I might as well use it. So. Oh dear. Oh, Bug. Honestly, I thought we were friends. Honestly. Just literally posted your flipping. Oh dear. Right, okay, well that's off my Christmas card list.
Too bad I can't ascend it. I have extra copies too. I have to figure out what to do with them.
I kick him out while he's down. That's awesome. That's super awesome. Yeah, I mean, honestly, as a wholehearted carrier main, I am absolutely devastated. But it does go to show that that we are just normal people here. We get no special treatment whatsoever. No one cares about us or our lineup in any way, shape, or form. No matter what we do or what we spend, it is luck of the draw. I mean, I don't know how you manage that many, Bug, I know, but for whatever reason, I can't. Ninja's obviously saying the same. I'm rolling with you, Ninja. I'm going driver, ant, and spiny. That's it. I've had enough.
That would be hilarious. Can you imagine that in Mines?
Yeah, you heard it from Fox. Hit him in the mines. He has a driver and spiny in his lineup.
You come at me, bro. You come at me. I will put my driver and spiny in. You come at me. I'm up for that then. Oh dear. Anyway, sorry. I've had my little moan.
Lots of other fun stuff going on in the game besides all these new crazy ants, which we are all going to be crossing our fingers and our toes and knocking on wood and hoping that we get, but we probably won't get, let's be honest. We have some crazy Halloween stuff going on in the game, which is still in the game right now, I believe, these squirrels. And they have had similar squirrels and maybe turkeys for Thanksgiving, but I think the visuals on them is a lot better than before. The squirrel is moving around a lot. He looks pretty cute in there. That would be a killer hill skin Nim was mentioning earlier.
Yes, I think it'd be adorable as a hill skin. That is a pumpkin skin I'd be happy to wear.
I love pumpkins, especially around Halloween time. Don't want to start a pie debate, but pumpkin pie is hands down the best pie.
No.
There was also a crazy cool looking hill skin, which I'm not sure if anybody up on the stage got. I do believe Soul said he got it, but there was this really cool killer whale skin that came out in the cave event.
I like it. I mean, we had a discussion earlier about this skin, because we are like, what's your favorite skin? You like randomly, and I'm like, you know what, this, if I was into purchasing skins, I think that could be like top of my list for the skins that have come out recently. Although the tree one is my absolute favorite, but they're kind of up in their game when it comes to skins, and I think it's really ironic and super funny and kind of witty that the developers came out with a killer whale skin.
Killer whale.
I think that's kind of a fun, cheeky play on on the
As
skins.
a newly formed, basic free-to-play guy, I couldn't possibly go and get that skin, unfortunately. So.
Yes, but
Yeah,
if it
me
was
too.
a fox.
I feel like if I got that, it would be false advertising, because I'm not a whale, so.
So true. So true. But, yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
Bunny has
I
corrected
do.
us. The killer whale's a dolphin, technically. Shame on us.
Is it?
Oh,
I don't know.
I
I'm
don't-
not.
8 years old when I learned a killer whale wasn't a whale. Come on now.
I don't know
honestly?
for sure. I'm just paraphrasing.
Yeah, they're in like the porpoise family or whatever. Porpoise dolphins.
Ah. Crazy. See, this show is not only informative about ants, it's also educational in the animal world. This is lovely.
Thank
well,
you
then that
for,
means anyone who identifies as a dolphin can get it then.
Thank you for correcting us, Bunny. It's always good to learn something every day.
Oreo in there with the facts.
I mean, good to know.
Our dolphins. Cheers, Oreo. Oh dear.
There are certainly a lot of hill skins to collect now, and that's one of the cooler ones. Like you were saying, Nim, they are upping the hill skin game, so lots of really cool skins, and it makes it cool in the game when everybody has different skins and not just the same skin.
Oof. That's a star I'll never see in my lifetime that Soul just posted. Dang. Sheesh. Nope. But, yeah, I don't know. I mean, for me, too, we had this discussion earlier, and it's sort of an offside, but it's like, I mean, you invest, if you spend in the game, you're investing based on what your needs, wants, how you're, you know what I mean? Like, it's very individual. I do and have invested in skins for myself, but I think now we had a conversation about, like, is that the wisest investment? I mean, again, it's personal choice, but I think that there's other places too I would put, like, there. I mean, I feel like we've heard nothing, because I saw earlier someone had asked about the new shooter insect, if, when, why, how. We haven't seen anything about it yet, so I mean, I'm kind of holding off for that as well.
Well, I just remember getting told off by Sol.
Yeah, he just said it's absolutely a good investment. But
I went to bed early that night.
but yeah, so I mean, there's lots to look forward to coming up. We're heading into a new season that I know my range is, it's available in my range. It's not available in your range. So Jake, you're heading into your first Surreal Wetlands, so you get to meet the bots for the first time this season?
That is correct, yes. Trap and I will be facing up against the bots for the first time, and then hopefully facing up against the enemies if we can get through all these bots, but we'll see.
Do you know what I think should be the fairest way of doing this? Is that as it's your first wetlands event, they should give you access to the beta we all had to suffer.
No.
Right? That's a fabulous idea.
I don't think you get to run the easy wetlands until you've all gone home traumatized.
As much as I'd like to feel your pain, they already took it out of the game, Fox, so it's impossible. Yeah. I don't know.
Just, I really hope that your teleports are on point, because, like, my first few wetlands were quite teleport heavy, for sure.
Yeah. I think didn't you come back and you said that you'd burned through like 150 teleports or something ridiculous?
Oh yeah, for sure. It was, but I mean, that also was the beta version, so, and we all remember the trauma and pain of that, so, yeah. I'm excited that you get to meet the bots for the first time. It's a bit of a strategy changer for the very beginning, hit the ground running.
Yeah, we're excited to try something new, and I'm sure you guys are also excited to try the newest mutated jungle season.
S3X. Woot woot.
Like, we have to, don't we? I think we've all deliberately stayed away from jungle historically, haven't we? We all know that it had its issues, its imbalances, its glitches, its whatever we want to call it. But I mean, there's been a lot of work that's gone into it. There's a lot of the new features. You've got the little side game. You've got improved rewards. You've got what sounds like better matchmaking now as well. And like the ability to sort of switch around how you actually play the game, whether you want to split as a camp, and do the 2v2s to take different areas. It forces that level of communication, I think, like we said last week. So, I mean, I'm hoping that people are going to really buy into this and actually start treating camp like it needs to be treated, and it actually be a shared team game. That's the only way this is going to work. So I hope everybody kind of sees that and actually takes that on board and starts kind of communicating a lot better in these events. So I mean, that's kind of how I'm seeing things at the minute. It looks like we need to work together a lot better and talk a lot more. So let's see.
Completely agree. It is at the end of the day, a very team-based game, and it is always good to see when they add more things when the team needs to work together to be successful. And, even when the team is 3 different teams, it can be very challenging. So it's good to see that they have another event where this will be a huge focus, is working together and having everybody doing what they need to be doing.
And Bug, you're over with my old team now, aren't you?
Yeah.
716.
Yep.
Right. Yeah. So that was a random jump. But I mean, the guys in there, they all know what they're doing as well. So like, you'll have a good time over there. Are you doing the same? You doing the same event?
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Looking forward to it.
I will be over in probably the next hour or so. So
Oh, okay, cool.
yeah. So Nim, you're doing the same?
Yeah, we'll be doing the new event. I think it's so important too because I think your team on server is so much different than the team on event, and there's of course Life Evolves events as well. So it's good to be very honest about what your team can bring to the table when you're preparing for these kinds of events. And when you're communicating within your camp, because that can make a big difference in how you strategize. And I think that's going to be very key activity. And I think good communication is going to be key for how these this newest event kind of goes. So
yeah, but more so now than ever. I really think. You know, we've all come back from season and been like, damn the allies, damn, you know what I mean? And we've all had those kind of moments and those kind of, you know, head in hands conversations with each other. Like, we would have done better if, but you know, this is going to be literally day one. How you set your camp up, how you actually organise and how you actually communicate in this is going to be literal key to what you walk away with reward wise. Especially now with that new side event as well. You know, you've got to look at this as unselfish and as a camp rather than who wants to be first, second, and third in your camp. And I think that's the bit of mentality that's got to change. You've got to drop your egos and play for the camp, not play for your team. So.
Yeah, and we just came off an event where it's probably been the best ally camp season I've had yet, and the level of just being in sync and communicating and all of that kind of really showed and highlighted what can be accomplished when like everyone is carrying the load and does what they say they're going to do and communicates all of the stuff in a positive way and are truthful about what their skill set they're bringing to the table is.
Yeah, we said that earlier, didn't we, about the alliance as well, you know? There is an ideal. There is a team of aggressive shooters that just demand that the builders get them to a location by a certain time. You know, there is a way to set it up, but you've got to get rid of these egos. You've got to, if your skill set is, I'm active, I'm weak, but I want to build, you know, or I'm active, I can keep rallying to keep the rallies shorter times when we're fighting towers, but I can't do a lot of damage. You know, everyone's got to start being a bit more honest with themselves and just deliver their own skill set to the team. I really can't stress that enough. You know, nobody can be the biggest person, but you've got to start getting some positivity about what you bring to the table and be proud of that. Not just think it's about who the biggest is in the team. We need absolutely every single skill set. So, I mean, that's what I need to work on with my guys. And, you know, if anyone's got a complete success formula of how to make people reassured of that fact, please just send me the manifesto, because it's so important in my head. Like, honestly, it's so important getting that buy-in. So,
you're 100% right. Can't do anything if you don't have people building the towers to get to places or filling out the rallies. Like at the end of the day, 5 minutes, it doesn't seem like a lot of time, but it does when you're waiting to clear somebody out of your tower and you're rallying and nobody's filling. So
but so you've got someone that's proud of the fact that every time it goes to invade, they hit rally, and that countdown timer is constantly running for people to join. You know, that's a really massive team input. It's a massive beneficial input that they're giving. So I don't know, how do we get these people to understand that the input they give is so appreciated and needed? So,
you lead by example, and you set it up that way, right?
Yeah, we're trying. You know, we're trying. But I think it's still difficult when you've got the bigger players, you know, but the bigger players, you know, you've got to also be appreciative, grateful, you know, actually just say thank you for getting us there. We'll do this part, but just get us there, you know. It goes both ways, I think, is what I'm trying to say. So
For sure,
But
and it's getting to that time. I don't want to stop things before we're ready, so go ahead, Nim. I don't know what.
No, you said it before I did. I was just gonna make sure that we put a huge thank you to Trap for joining us and like bringing his knowledge to the table, because that is so helpful, especially for a player like me. That is not like my main skill set. So I really appreciate the conversation that we had today, because I think it'll be helpful for a lot of the community. So yeah, so there's that.
Yeah, it was a. Thank you very much, Trap. It was a nice technical stage. We don't often get all these technical things to talk about. So it was great to have you up to help us unpack those.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah,
thanks, buddy.
thank you everybody for attending. Thank you again, Trap. Much appreciated, man. That's super awesome of you, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yep, and I'll do the last minute housekeeping before we head out for the day. Well, thank you everyone who hung out with us to listen. There is no stage without the community participation, so as always, you are appreciated. I want to also remind everyone to please put your in-game ID in our IDs channel so that we can get you a little something from Fairy for hanging out with us. And as always, we do have our Stage Topics channel, so if there is something that you would like for us to cover or have questions and want to share it with us, please feel free to post in our Stage Topics channel, and we will see you all again same time next week. It's always 15 UTC, even though the time's changed in the world, the UTC time does not. And yeah, thank you again, everyone.
Thanks, so tip, guys. See you
All
soon.
right.
Thanks
See you
for
later.
coming.